Today we're talking about Marathon Patent Group. I'm very excited for this one because I just bought it just yesterday actually. Now this stock has ran up quite a lot in year 2020, this past year, about 800%. Now they're actually trading as a penny stock as well. As you can see, 70 cents a share on May 29, 2020. They hit a high of $5.09 on August 6, 2020, and started to go down a little throughout the ending of the year to $1 to $2. Now I know some people are going to say that this stock already ran up quite a lot, but there was an article I read that this stock could double this year. And as you may know, cryptocurrency is on the rise again. A lot of people are turning their attention towards it, and it's just going to become even bigger these next few years. Also, quick side note, I'm not a financial advisor, and I hope it's not too much to ask for an early thumbs up on this video, subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on those post notifications to be notified every time I post a new video. As always, I appreciate the support so much. So Marathon Patent Group, they're currently trading for $22.88 a share, and they are down 3.35%. Now it did open at a price of $24.06 a share, and it does look like it has been going on a downtrend. It went as low as $21.98. They do have a market cap of $2.10 billion, so this would be considered a mid-cap stock. Now we're here on their page. Marathon is a digital asset technology company that mines cryptocurrencies with a focus on the blockchain ecosystem and the generation of digital assets. We currently operate a proprietary data center in Hardin, Montana, with a maximum power capacity of 105 megawatts. The company also owns 2,060 advanced ASIC Bitcoin miners at a co-hosted facility in North Dakota. Once fully deployed, the company's mining fleet will consist of more than 103,000 miners capable of producing 10.36 exahashes per second. Now, to be real with you guys, I never really knew what a cryptocurrency mining company did, what it was in general. I never really got into the Bitcoin space or trading cryptocurrencies, but in my whole investments and my whole portfolios, I do want to have some cryptocurrency that I do hold. Now, speaking of their miners, they just had 4,000 Antminer S19 Pro ASIC miners shipped to them from Bitmain ships. Marathon's current mining fleet consists of 2,560 miners, generating 248 petahash per second. Each S19 Pro miner produces 110 and adds 0.11 petahash to the company's existing operations. Once the additional 4,000 miners are installed, the company's mining fleet will consist of 6,560 miners producing approximately 688 petahash per second. This represents a 256% increase of our current hash rate production. To date, the company has purchased 103,060 miners, which once delivered and fully deployed will produce approximately 10.36 exahash per second, like we just read a while ago. The CEO, Marek Okamoto, said the shipment of 4,000 S19 Pro miners is the first of many we will be receiving from Bitmain in 2021 as we build towards becoming one of the largest and most efficient miners in North America. And they actually anticipate to receive more in March and April, which is 6,300 miners in March and 4,800 in April. So a lot of installations with these miners for Marathon. To continue, it says, according to publicly available Bitcoin profit calculators, if all the miners we have were purchased were deployed today and Bitcoin's price were 30,000 BTC, we would produce approximately 55 to 60 Bitcoins per day at an average cost of 4,541 BTC. We would generate approximately $51.5 million in revenue per month and $43.6 million in gross profit per month. As evidenced by this order and the many to follow, Marathon remains on track to efficiently become one of the largest miners in North America. So pretty crazy stuff. It's going to get crazier, like I've mentioned. Cryptocurrencies is rising once again, and even institutions are now putting their attention towards cryptocurrencies. And we'll talk more about that today in this video. So now we're here looking at their investor presentation. They have the potential to grow monthly revenue from $500,000 to $60 million by first quarter of 2022. They are aggressively increasing mining power, reducing Bitcoin production costs, and adding proven industry experts to the team. Marathon Patent Group is headquartered in Las Vegas. Their mining facility is in Hardin, Montana, with 103,060 miners representing 6.4% of global Bitcoin hash rate and producing 55 to 60 BTC a day. So on this slide, this one is adoption is accelerating. 2020 Institutional Investors Digital Asset Survey by Fidelity Digital Assets. 36% of institutional investors surveyed currently invest in digital assets. Almost 60% of all investors surveyed have a neutral or positive perception towards digital assets. almost 80% of investors found something appealing about digital assets. Now, as we look at this quick little chart here, Bitcoin and traditional assets return on investment versus the US dollar, Bitcoin has done very, very well the past 5 years. Way better than gold, way better than the S&P 500. For the past year, there has been a 305% return, 2 years, 686% return, 3 years, 103%, 4 years, 2,939%, 5 years, 6,678% return on investment. This is really insane. It truly amazes me. But back to speaking about institutional investors, like I mentioned, a lot of them are now really turning their attention to cryptocurrencies. If we look on this article, for one, CNBC reports that BlackRock filed prospectuses for 2 funds that could buy BTC futures contracts. That's a big sign that institutions are very interested in cryptocurrencies. 2, according to Skyridge Capital, we could see a tidal wave of institutional capital, as noted by Bitcoinist. In fact, the firm says the cryptocurrency could see maturation as an asset class and attract hedge funds, public company treasurers, insurance companies, pension funds, RIAs, banks, brokerage houses, and even a potential Bitcoin ETF. Now that would be huge. 3, Bridgewater founder Ray Dalio, we all know who he is, just said his firm may soon buy Bitcoin. He says, I and my colleagues at Bridgewater are intently focusing on alternative storehold of wealth assets and expect Bridgewater to soon offer an alt cash fund and a storehold of wealth fund in order to better deal with the devaluation of money and credit that we consider to be a major risk opportunity, and Bitcoin won't escape our scrutiny. So cryptocurrencies is really rising extremely fast. Now, moving on to Marathon's growth strategy. In theory, 1, improve Bitcoin production by increasing hash rate, continue to de-risk the business by becoming more resilient to potential declines in price of BTC. What's in practice is 1, new miners increasing BTC production and revenue. 2020 BTC 2 a day, revenue 500,000 a month. In Q1 2022, 55 to 60 BCT a day, revenue $60.1 million a month. 2, a new facility, opportunity to increase scale 12 times with fixed cost of electricity, more leverage exposure to Bitcoin. Today, 105 megawatts at 2.8 cents kilowatts an hour. Potential 500 plus megawatts at 2.8 cents kilowatts an hour. So if you don't know how cryptocurrency mining works or what a cryptocurrency miner is, like I didn't know before, this is how it works. Bitcoin transactions are pulled together in a block and encrypted by a complex puzzle. Once a block is formed, miners compete to solve the puzzle. Once solved, the transactions are verified by the network. The new block of verified transactions is attached to a chain of prior blocks, hence blockchain. For solving the puzzle, miners are rewarded with Bitcoin. Now, as for their financial highlights, they have $458.7 million in cash and crypto. They are on track to produce 50 to 60 BTC per day. Cash flow positive. They're improving mining margins, 4,501 BTC average BTC production cost, and they have no long-term debt as of January 2021. Now, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that Marathon Patent Group can double this year. In this article from Investor Place, it says, when you look at the big picture, Marathon Patent Group stock could easily double. And they actually did an analysis on why Marathon stock could double, and they got their information and summed it all up based on an article that Marathon Patent Group did drop on January 26th called The Block. So Marathon Patent Group did just buy 4,813 Bitcoin for $150 million. The cost was $31,135 per Bitcoin. Marathon still has another $100 million from $250 million it recently raised, as well as $450 million in other cash on its balance sheet. Therefore, its liquid assets are $163.8 million in Bitcoin plus $550 million in cash, or $713.8 million in total. And this does not include its value of the Bitcoin mining operations. Now, as we went over earlier, the CEO did say that the company could mine approximately 55 to 60 Bitcoin per day using its advanced mining computers. Now, in addition to that, the electricity cost would soon fall to 2.8 cents per kilowatt an hour. In effect, this lowers the cost per Bitcoin from over $7,000 to less than $4,400. So the cost would be just $264,000 for 60 Bitcoin per day. Therefore, its gross operating margin will be $1.736 million per day. And it says here, if the price of Bitcoin rises, the margin will rise as well, meaning that it will soon be on a run rate of gross profits of $631.9 million per year, assuming a 5% operating cost. we can estimate $600 million in run rate profits or free cash flow. Assuming the 20% net tax, the net income will be $480 million annually. Therefore, at just 6 times earnings, Mara stock would be worth $2.88 billion. In addition, we will add in the $750 million in Bitcoin and cash. The total sum of the parts value is $3.63 billion. So this number, $3.63 billion, is just about twice its present market value, which is $1.87 billion. So even though it already ran up crazy in 2020, it can still double this year in 2021. So very interesting stuff. And if you have been holding Marathon stock since it was a penny stock, then congratulations, I envy you. No, I'm kidding. But congratulations, you guys have experienced really, really massive gains. And again, quickly speaking on institutions, institutional interest in Bitcoin from the likes of BlackRock and Bridgewater could be a game changer for digital currencies and mining stocks. So this is why I'm really, really interested in this company and why I bought into them just yesterday. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, it's really on the rise. It's getting more popular once again. It kind of fell off a couple years back, but there's a lot to look forward to in Marathon Patent Group, a lot to look forward to in the cryptocurrency space, especially Bitcoin. Extremely, extremely amazing stuff. But what do you guys think about Marathon Patent Group? Comment down below what you guys think about this stock, what you're doing, if you've already invested in them. As always, I appreciate your thoughts. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you aren't already, and turn on those post notifications to be notified every time I post a new video. As always, I appreciate the support so much. Once again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.